All right, guys, welcome back from break. I wanted to make sure before we get going on today's problem set that we have a little bit of a refresher course here on some of the division you guys have been doing. We're still working our way up through some of the tougher levels of long division. So let's start with some of the stuff you learned kind of early on this year. Let's look at these problems here where you have numbers followed by zeros. Okay, these are really easy to do. So what you're going to do, you see that you got 6 here, you can see that you got 3 there. Well, 3 is too small, right? Whenever you're looking at division, you're trying to ask yourself, how many of these numbers fit into that number? Well, I can't fit any 6's into a 3. It's too small. It's like trying to pour a gallon of milk into a thimble, right? So I can kind of tell myself, well, I got none. No 3's, okay? So what about 30? What if I went one more space? And notice I put that 0 right above the 3 there. You always want to do that when you're doing division. Put your answers right above the numbers you were looking at. So now I'm looking at the number 30. 6 into 30. Well, if you go on your multiplication table, you go to your 6, you go down the 6 column, you find 30, you come across, and it says it's 5. 30 divided by 6 is 5. Okay? Now, we still have these 2 zeros here. It's real easy. How many 6's fit into a 0? Well, none of them, right? Nothing can fit into a 0. How many 6's fit into that 0? Well, none. So now as we look at that number, we just got to realize that this 0 that's in front here doesn't mean anything. Because it's in the front of a number and there's no decimal, it's got no value. So my final answer is simply 500. All right, let's look at one of those down here. Okay, 4 into 2, I can't do that. 2 is too small. It's like pouring a gallon of milk into a thimble, like we said. How about 4 into 28? Well, if you go down to your 4's on your multiplication table, find your 28, come across, what is it? It's 9. Or not 9, I'm sorry, 7. I lied to you. It's a 7. 4 goes into 28 7 times. Okay, and then again we got the 0. Well, no 4's will fit into a 0, and no 4's will fit into a 0. We got to remember this front 0 here in front of the 7 has no value because there's no decimal in front of it or anything. So all we have for our answer there is 700. So that was a review of stuff we did long ago. Now we're going to look at the stuff we did just before Christmas time. Actually, let's start up here. All right, so now we've got numbers all the way across. And at first this might seem a little scary, but it's really pretty easy. It's the same process you just did. It's just now we've got more numbers to look at. So how many times will 5 fit into 5? Well, exactly 1 5 can fit in there, right? Okay, so if you remember right, we talked about doing or remembering the phrase, does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? And those are the 5 steps to division. So the first one was dividing. 5 goes into 5 one time. Okay, we did that step right there. Now we got multiplying. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, did that step. Now we go subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay, then we check to see, are there other numbers? Yes, we got a 1 right there. So we bring that number down. When you bring it down, draw an arrow so that you know you've already dealt with that number. So now we got to ask ourselves how many 5's go into a 1. Well, it's that gallon of milk thimble thing. You can't fit the whole thing in there, so none. No 5's go into a 1. Okay, so we're back up here. We've done the division. Now we're doing the multiplication. 5 times 0 is 0. Then subtraction, we're going to subtract that, get a 1. Then we check, yeah, I still have another number. Then we bring it down. Again, draw an arrow. It'll help keep things organized, help you know when you're done with the problem. So now we got division again. 5 into 15, well, we go down the 5's column, come to the 15, go across. Hey, that goes in there 3 times. Okay, multiplication, 3 times 5 is 15. Subtraction equals 0. And check, oh, no more numbers, and I've used it all. That tells me I am done with this problem. And my answer is 103. I tell you, the one spot that almost all the students mess up on when they're first learning this is they forget to put that 0 above the 1. They realize that 5 can't go into 1, and then they just skip to the 15. You can't do that. You gotta put that spacer in there that shows that, nope, 5 did not go in there. Okay, we had to move on to the next column before it could fit in. All right, let's look at this 7 one here. We'll do a few more. 7 into 2, can't do. Okay, 0 times 7 is 0. Okay, subtract. to bring down our next number, 21. 7 into 21. Well, if we look on our chart, that goes in 3 times. Again, I'm trying to put it right above the numbers I'm working with. 3 times 7, that's 21. I subtract. Okay, I check. Yep, I got another number. I bring it down. 7. Well, 7 can divide into 7 one time, right? Okay, so then we do our multiplication. 7 times 1 is 7. We subtract. We check. Yep, we got another number. We bring it down. 5. Can 7 fit into 5? No, 5's too small. So what do? We got to remember to put our 0 up here. It does not fit into that. 7 times 0 is 0. We subtract. Okay. Got 5 left over. Oh, wait. What'd I do there? Okay, we subtract. There we go. There's 5 left over. We check. Yep, we got another number. Then we bring it down. So now we're looking at 56. Okay, can 7 go into 56? We go down the 7's column, find 56, come across. Yeah, goes in there 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. We subtract them, and we get all zeros. We check. There's no more numbers. It came out perfect because we ended up with zeros with nothing left. So the only thing we got to remember is here in our answer, when we go to put this in the computer, this 0 does not mean anything because there's no decimal in front of it. If there was a decimal there, we'll learn later on that that's important to keep that 0. But if there's no decimal, a 0 in the front of a number means nothing. You just skip to the next numbers. So, man, this is big. This is 3,108. That's a comma there, folks. It's just kind of weird looking. 3,108. All right, let's do... let's see. Let's do the 12 one. This is kind of tough because it's a 12, but because that's on your multiplication table, it shouldn't be too bad. 12 into 1 can't fit. 0 times 12 is 0. We subtract, bring down the 1. We check. We got another number. We bring it down. Okay, again, remember it's going to be divide, multiply, subtract, check it, bring it down. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? All right, so 12 into 12. We're going to divide. It goes in there 1 time. Then we multiply. 1 times 12 is 12. We subtract. Get all zeros. We check. Yep, we got another number. We bring it down. Okay, can 12 go into 1? Well, no, it can't. It's too small. So we put a 0 there. 0 times 12 is 0. We subtract. We check. Yep, we got another number. We bring it down. 14. 12 can go into 14. Here, this is kind of interesting. If we look on our chart, and this is something we're going to be getting into later, if we look on our chart, 12 can go into 14 1 time, but it has some left over. What I mean by that is 12 times 1 is 12, which is close to 14, but it can't quite hit 14 exactly. So in this case, we say, well, the closest it can come without going over is 1 time. Okay, so we put 1 up here, we multiply, we subtract, we check, yeah, we got another number, and we bring it down. Okay, so now we got 24. We go down 12, does it go into 24? Yep, it goes there perfectly 2 times. Okay, 2 times 12 is 24. We subtract, all zeros, we check, no more numbers, came out perfect. Again, this 0 means nothing. So it's going to be 1,012. And if you want a comma, it'd go right there. So that's a little bit of a preview. On the ones you'll have, you won't have this this situation here where it's not perfect. But I wanted to kind of show you that because that is where we're headed, where you'll have it go in there imperfectly, where there's a little bit left over that you have to deal with through subtraction. All right, let's look at one more, and then I'll set you loose on today's assignment and get it here where we can see it a little better. All right, 3 into 9,627. Or another way of saying that would be 9,627 divided by 3. Okay, 3 into 9, well, I look at my chart, it can go in there 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. We subtract, get a 0. You check, yeah, I got another number. Let's bring it down. 3 into 6. So I go down my list. Oh, yeah, there's a 6. Go across, it goes in there 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. We subtract, get a 0. Check, yep, got another number. Let's bring it down. 3 and a 2. Well, it just cannot do that. There's no 3's in a 2. Okay, I multiply, it's a 0. I subtract, 2, check, yep, got another number. Let's bring it down. 3 into 27. Now, look at my list. There's 27. I go across. Hey, it's equal to 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Oops, 27. I subtract, get 0. I check, no more numbers. Came out perfect. And here my answer is 3,209. I didn't have my front 0 like I did in some of my other problems. So again, that's just a review on how to do the division. We're going into full-blown long division, a lot like that 12 problem we had. But for right now, it'll be pretty simple. It'll all come out even like those there, just to give you some practice. If you have any trouble at all, remember, just email and we can do some Zooming and figure it out together. I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to talking with you.